So I'd like to talk you through a very lovely relaxation technique. We can do this one sitting in a chair, we can do it lying down, we can do it actually in bed before we nod off at the end of the day. We're going to move through our body and really simply, we don't really have to do overly much. We're going to take our thoughts into parts of our body and either relaxing them, or it's enough to imagine them relaxing as we move through the body. You might find that you miss a word or two. That's okay, just come back to me. So as soon as you've noticed that you've lost my voice and you're no longer following me, you'll be present again and just join in when you can. We're going to start from the top of our head and work our way down to our feet. So wherever you are, make sure you've got comfortable clothing on, you're warm enough. You might nod off towards the end, and that's absolutely fine. So you might want to have a blanket handy to pull over yourself. If you're doing this lying down, you might want a wee cushion under your head or under the backs of your thighs. We would have the back of the hand on the floor, legs outstretched, and just let the legs kind of flop out to the side. If we're sitting up, we still need to be as comfortable as possible, but we want the crown of the head to be above the tail, so it takes a tiny little bit more effort. You might pop a wee cushion in the back of the waist, and I've got a couple of blocks. You could have books or cushions underneath the feet so that you are making contact with the floor. So let's begin. You might want to gently close your eyes. The chin drops a little to let the quiet in. I've got my hands really simply on my lap. And then we'll just take a moment to notice how we are. So how are you today? And that doesn't take words or pictures to notice. I'm going to drop from our thinking mind into our feeling body. So how do you feel? How are you? There's no right or wrong answer. No judgment, no wishing anything were different. We're only here to be aware. We're here to notice. That's all. That's our job. So let's begin. Become aware of the top of your head and how it moves up towards the ceiling. And move down the back of the head into either side of the neck. Is it possible to imagine either side of the neck beginning to soften, to smooth? Do you notice any other sensations in the sides of the neck? And then let's come to the space between the eyebrows. Can we soften in between the eyebrows? Really noticing the space between the eyebrows. Our temples. Can we be aware of our temples? I quite like to imagine a little massage on my temples here. How would it feel if we were to, without moving, gently massage our temples? The cheeks are soft, the jaw, tongue wide. You might even swallow to relax the throat. Dropping shoulders away from the ears. How do the shoulders feel? Any sensation in those shoulders? Is it possible to direct your breath to the space between the shoulders? So as you breathe out, is it possible to allow the shoulder blades to widen and to sink just a little bit further down the back? Is it possible to notice a lightness under either collarbone? moving down either arm, elbow, wrist. Be aware of the palms of the hands, and if they're on your thighs, what feedback do you get? What do you feel? Warmth, tingling, the texture of your clothing? Is it possible to even be aware of the spaces in between your fingers, around your hands? Sense of weightiness of the hands moving down. Of course, if you're lying down, you might be aware of the back of the hand against the floor. Let's come back into the chest. Can you sense the very gentle movement of your breath in the rib cage? In the abdomen. And a sense of dropping your sitting bones downwards into your chair, or the pelvis moving heavily into the floor. Is it possible to sense the rise and fall of the abdomen as you breathe in? And the fall as you breathe out. How are your legs today? Is it possible to feel them weighty, moving into the floor, backs of the legs against your chair? Is it possible to soften, to notice some warmth? Are your knees comfortable? If the answer is no, feel free to move just a little. Can we use our breath on an exhale, allowing any sense of holding on to let go? Is it possible to allow the relaxation to move down either leg into the calves and to settle in either ankle? And then becoming aware of the sole of the foot against the floor or in space. The sole of the foot, the top of the foot. Be aware of each and every toe. The space between the toes. The space around either foot. Is it possible to be aware of where the breath begins? Somewhere in the center of the body. Somewhere above navel, below where the rib cage meets. And as you breathe in, is it possible to notice how that breath expands? It moves outwards towards the crown of your head, tips of your fingers, tips of your toes. And as you breathe out, it comes back to wherever it began. So is it possible to sense the breath expanding from somewhere in the center of your body as you breathe in? And allow it to return to that same point as you breathe out. And as you breathe in, is it possible to imagine that breath filling every cell of your body, every little space, all the way out to your silhouette? And breathing out, it comes back to wherever it began. And then coming back to your simple resting breath, silent, smooth, effortless breath. It's an even breath. Inhale and exhale similar length, continually flowing, so without pause, top or bottom. Breathing in and out through the nostrils and less so through the mouth if that's possible today. And eventually dropping chin to chest. Blink a few times. Come back to me. Enjoy how you feel.